The night my wife left me, she was wearing the dress I bought her. She didn't look back, not once. She just laughed at something he whispered, really laughed, the way she used to laugh with me, and walked straight out that door like 7 years meant absolutely nothing. I stood there holding 2 glasses of wine, one for me, one for her. I drank both. And I told myself, maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe she's just networking. Maybe she'll text. She never texted. But 4 months later, I found his name again. Not at a party, not in a conversation, in a place that handed me something far more powerful than anger. To understand how I destroyed him, you need to see exactly how it started. The venue was the kind of place designed to make ordinary people feel important for one night. I got us drinks, looked around for Claire, and that's when I saw him. Marcus Hale. I didn't know his name yet. I just noticed him the way you notice a storm on the horizon. You can't name it, but something in your chest already understands. Tall, perfectly dressed. That specific kind of confidence that only comes from never hearing no and actually believing that's normal. Claire was at the bar with him, animated, leaning slightly forward. Okay, networking. Then she touched his arm. Then she laughed. Not the polite social laugh, the real one. Low, unguarded. The one I hadn't heard from her in longer than I wanted to admit. Then she stopped looking around the room for me entirely. I walked over, smiled, extended my hand. Hi, I'm Daniel, Claire's husband. The word husband felt strange in my mouth, like a word in a language I wasn't sure I still spoke. Marcus looked at me, smiled back, smooth, practiced, not a single moment of hesitation. The handshake of a man who has already won and is simply waiting for you to realize it. Marcus, great event, right? 6 minutes. That's how long I stood there. That's how long it took to understand I wasn't part of the conversation anymore. Claire laughed at everything he said. Did that lean, subtle, almost unconscious, like a plant turning toward better light. I excused myself, got another drink, stood by the window. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was being insane. Then Claire appeared beside me, flushed, eyes bright, a version of her face I hadn't seen in a long time. I think you should take the car home. What? You look tired. I'll get an Uber. You look tired. Like she was doing me a favor. I looked at her, past the dress, past the careful expression, past everything she was trying to project. And I saw it. Clear, terrible, unmistakable. She wasn't coming home that night. Clear. Please don't make this a scene, Daniel. 7 years. Ended in a co-check room. Bad lighting. Someone else's laughter bleeding through the walls. I took the car, drove home alone. Sat in the driveway for 40 minutes before I could make myself go inside. I wasn't rich. Never was. Built a stable life from nothing. Honest work, real job, small house with weeds in the backyard that I kept meaning to fix. I thought that was enough. I was wrong, or at least, she decided I was. She moved out 3 weeks later. 3 weeks, which told me everything about how long the plan had already existed before that night. She took the couch, the expensive coffee maker, left me a note on the counter. I hope you find happiness. 5 words. 7 years. That was the exchange rate. For weeks I barely slept, lost weight without trying. The kind of hollow feeling in your chest that isn't even pain exactly, more like the shape of where something used to be. I'd sit at the kitchen table at 2 a.m. eating cereal with no milk, kept forgetting to buy it, just staring at the wall. Spoon in hand, completely still. That image right there. That's what rock bottom actually looked like. Not dramatic, just small. Quietly, stupidly small. And the questions came from everywhere. Her mother, mutual friends, most of whom quietly migrated to her side the way people always move toward the more exciting story. My brother, who put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Maybe this is a blessing in disguise," and I just nodded because I didn't trust what might come out of my mouth if I opened it. But here's the thing, nobody tells you about rock bottom. It's quiet down there, and in the quiet, for the first time in years, I could actually hear myself. What I heard was, "I'm not done." 4 months after the party, Tuesday night, working late. Major public infrastructure bid, the kind of contract that defines a company's next 5 years. I was tired, cold coffee, halfway through subcontractor documentation on autopilot, and then I saw it. Hale Development Group. I stopped. Read it again. Hale. My chest went tight. I kept reading. Something was wrong. Not immediately nameable, more like a feeling first, the way you sense a room is off before you identify exactly what's out of place. Then I looked closer. Numbers that shifted between documents in ways that weren't possible unless someone was deliberately moving them. Subcontractor arrangements that didn't survive cross-reference. Shell company routing that looped back on itself with no legitimate business purpose. This wasn't a mistake. This was a system. I leaned back in my chair. 10 years in this industry. I knew the difference between sloppy paperwork and a constructed lie. This was a lie, careful, expensive, deliberate. I thought about Claire, the coat check, the dress, the coffee maker she took. And then I stopped thinking about Claire, because this wasn't about her anymore. This was about a man who built his entire world on the assumption that nobody was paying close enough attention. I was paying attention. Part of me wanted drama, wanted to walk into whatever restaurant they were at and drop a folder of documents on the table and watch his face collapse in real time. That feeling lasted about 40 seconds. Then something colder took over. I didn't want revenge. Revenge is loud, temporary. It makes you feel powerful for a moment and then leaves you empty. I wanted consequences, real ones, permanent ones, the kind that follow a man into every room he tries to enter for the rest of his career. So I built the file. 2 weeks. Every evening after work. Every discrepancy documented, cross-referenced, sourced, clean, clear, and airtight. Then I called our legal compliance team. Then the city's office of the Inspector General. My name on the record. Every page. No anonymous tips. No drama. No games. Just 10 years of expertise and a decision I could live with for the rest of my life. And then I let the process work. Here's what nobody tells you. Doing the right thing quietly. With no audience, no guarantee of outcome. No one watching. That's the thing that actually puts you back together. Not the result. The decision. The morning after I filed everything, I woke up early, made coffee, stood at the kitchen window watching the sun come up over the backyard. For the first time in months, I felt like myself. I started running. Embarrassingly slow at first, mostly just aggressive shuffling. But every single morning, fixed the kitchen, 3 wrong attempts, 1 YouTube tutorial, 1 Saturday, sawdust on my jeans, 6 hours total. When I finished, I sat on the floor and ate a sandwich and felt more genuinely proud than I had in years. Therapy, which I now call the most productive 50 minutes of my week. A promotion with a title change and a number on my paycheck that made me close my laptop and just sit quietly for a moment. The weeds in the backyard became a vegetable garden. Tomatoes first, peppers, something that might be zucchini. I didn't rebuild to move on. I rebuilt because I refused to stay broken by someone who was never worth the breaking. 6 months after I filed, it went public. Hale Development Group. Systematic bid manipulation across multiple public contracts. Federal procurement violations. Financial irregularities significant enough to bring in 2 separate agencies. Local press first, then regional, then national business outlets. Marcus released a statement. Accounting errors. Internal miscommunication. Smooth, confident, practiced. It didn't hold, because you can't charm your way past a 10-year industry expert who spent 2 weeks building an airtight case specifically designed to survive every defense you might attempt. Assets frozen, legal walls closing in, the whole architecture coming apart, floor by floor. And Claire, I heard through a mutual friend. She'd moved in fast. She hadn't been wrong about his wealth. She just had no idea what was underneath it. When the investigation hit, he liquidated, lawyered up, went cold. The apartment, leased. The car, leased. The lifestyle, entirely leveraged on contracts that were now under federal review. Every single bit of it. She called me once. I watched her name light up my phone screen, let it ring. She didn't leave a voicemail. I didn't call back. Not cruelty, not satisfaction. Just nothing left to say. And that silence felt like the cleanest breath I'd taken in years. When someone walks away from you, they are not measuring your value. They are revealing their direction. Confuse those two things and it will cost you years you cannot get back. I paid that price. Months of 2 a.m. cereal. Months of asking what was broken in me. The answer was nothing. She chased something that looked like security and turned out to be a performance. Well-dressed, well-funded, completely hollow underneath. Her story, not mine. Mine is the garden growing out back. The kitchen I fixed with my own hands. The file I built with no audience because it was simply the right thing to do. People ask if I wish I'd confronted him directly. Let him know it came from me. His lawyers figured it out during discovery. He knew. That was enough. More than enough. I didn't need fear, didn't need her regret, didn't need her regret. Didn't need a final scene. I just needed to look at myself every morning without flinching. These days, I can do that. The weeds are gone, the garden is growing, and I never forget to buy milk anymore.